Hello, Traverse City Christian School parents, and I hope this message finds you well. And this message is going to be kind of a background a little bit on the plan for reopening and also provide just a couple different highlights on specific items within the plan as well. And as you know, the reopening committee has been meeting many times over the summer to put together this plan. And what we've been using is the state of Michigan put out a roadmap for reopening schools for the fall. And that roadmap mirrors the state's reopening plan as a whole. So the state is in a 6-phase approach, and the reopening plan for schools mirrors that as well. And there's different guidelines depending on which phase your region is in at that time. So right now we're in phase 5, and so there's certain guidelines for phase 5. And if we move to phase 6, when that happens, there'll be different guidelines. Similarly, moving back into phase 4, phase 3, different guidelines in place for what school looks like if you're in a region in a different phase. So that's been used quite a bit to form the plan, but also Grand Traverse Health Department, we've been in touch with them as to different policy items. And obviously the board has had input on this, and this plan has been presented to the board. And now 2 days ago on Tuesday, we presented this plan to our staff members. And so we've been able to process this for a couple days now as we look to return in the fall on September 8 in person. And I just want to say, too, that we're all aware, you and I, of the tension that is out there, whether it's something that you just see or you also are feeling quite a bit inside as well. We see tension, not only related to COVID, but reopening schools and there's many other different topics that are on right now, whether it's in the world, in the United States, Michigan, things our churches are wrestling with, things that we are seeing or maybe conversing on through social media, on Facebook, and at Traverse City Christian too. We see and we feel the tension with many different things going on right now. And if you think back to a couple weeks ago, the video I sent out talked about that the community is noticing Traverse City Christian School. So not only within athletics or our academics or different things that marketing-wise we put out to the community, that they are having a perception of Traverse City Christian School. A reopening plan falls right in line with that too. What does a reopening plan say about Traverse City Christian School to our local and community that is outside of this region as well? And so those are all things that we had to take into consideration as well within our reopening committee and our board in terms of what does a reopening plan during this time say to the community about what we think our role is and what we can do to help students and families during this time. So not easy answers, I'll say that, but a lot of good questions and thoughts for all of us to consider as we continue to navigate in this way. So the plan itself, I said it follows the state guidelines that are in place for Michigan for phase 5 that we are in right now. And it shows that we do believe that health is important for our students and staff members. And at the same time, there are other areas that we want to make sure don't get dropped in that. So our spiritual health here at school, emotional health, social health, and just physical health of being able to be up and moving as well. So those are areas we want to make sure still are addressed and still are part of life at Traverse City Christian School. And so just know that that is still important in all facets of our whole child emphasis here at TC Christian. But I did want to touch on a couple specific items within the plan. And one of them is masks. And I know that's what a lot of people are asking and talking about is what's the mask policy going to be at TC Christian. So I'm just going to quick go through it for elementary, middle school, high school, and staff members on what the expectations are. So for elementary students, when they're coming in and out of the building, masks would be expected in the hallways. Masks are expected in any common gathering areas. So if they would be coming into the front office, would be a common gathering area. If there'd be something in the cafeteria area they would be going to, that'd be more of a common gathering area where a mask would be expected. For middle school, high school students, all the same there as elementary students coming in and out, hallways, common gathering areas. And then also within classrooms, when they're working within a small group or closer proximity to other students, masks would be expected. And for staff members, similar to those first two groups, in and out of the doors, hallways, common gathering areas, and then within classrooms when social distancing is not able to be followed. So if a staff member is going to be walking up and down the rows, mask is on. If they're working in a closer proximity with another student, a mask would be on at that time as well. So that's right now for what we have for phase 5. And I'll say if we do move to phase 4, it will change for middle school, high school, and staff members where masks would be required, expected to be on for the day. And if that would be the case, we move to phase 4, we would be looking for times, obviously, that we can build in that masks could be off but there would be a much greater expectation for masks to be on for a longer duration of the day if we are in phase 4. Second item, cleaning. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more cleaning and sanitizing going on within the building, and our contract that we're having with our cleaning crew for this next school year does have somebody here on site come mid-morning, and so they're going to be helping with lunch cleanup in the cafeteria, cleaning different frequently touched surfaces throughout the building, in addition to a deeper cleaning at night when students and staff are gone to make sure that everything's good to go for the next day. So we'll be sending out more details about the cleaning once that's clarified over the next couple of weeks, but there is going to be obviously more cleaning measures in the school building. A couple other to mention, not going to go in detail in the video, but please do make sure to look over the whole plan, but especially the arrival and dismissal, beginning and end of the day. That's going to look a little bit different. And also, we're just going to have different spacing within classrooms, within the building. And to the illness policy, Grand Traverse Health is still developing that and finalizing what that's going to look like. But once we have that, we'll be pushing that out as well. So yeah, do please review, obviously, the plan that's contained within the email. There's a frequently asked question document linked within the plan as well. And also within the email, a Google form that is a spot that allows you to ask questions about the plan or reopening. And the Google form just is a good way for us to compile all the questions in one spot as they come in. We'll move appropriate ones into the frequently asked questions section or document so all parents can see them as well. But if you want to sit down and meet here at school or have a phone call, that is obviously welcome too. But for those that want to just shoot off an email, we're asking that you do the Google form so we can compile those in one spot. So again, let us know what questions you do have. We know there's going to be many, but we do value your partnership here at TC Christian. We're excited to have students back in the building on September 8th, as we're currently allowed per the state of Michigan, and we're excited to get this building full again with students and do that in a safe and responsible way as we continue with the mission of Traverse City Christian School. So again, look at the document, look at the plan, and we'll see you guys soon.